first thing I want to do is take off all of the strings and unwind them on this side. I slacken it until all of the strings are very loose. Now that I've unwound all of the strings, I have slack, and I go ahead and I untie all of the strings on this side. You can also work 2 or 3 strings at a time. Now that you've taken off all the strings, be careful because this part can become loose and fall out. You can put it to the side or you can tape it down. At this point, I take off the string at the peg head. I choose to keep my old strings in case I ever need to have an extra string. Sometimes you can reuse them. At this point, I come in with a paper towel that has been wetted with rubbing alcohol, and I just remove any grime, sweat, or any built up dirt. It dries quick and it will not damage the guitar. After the fingerboard dries, I apply an oil. This is a guitar conditioner from Dunlop. You can actually use almost any vegetable oil, such as coconut oil, olive oil. I have used coconut oil in the past. I also apply this to the bridge, as that can dry up. After all the oil has absorbed and you've wiped it off, I take the string and I begin to put them on. So I'm going to show you how I tie the first string, the E string. So you thread it through the hole on the bridge. You pull it out so you have a lot of room. And then I thread it once. I thread it a second time. And then I also thread it a third time. Then I just give it a pull and bring some tension. And then it sits nice and snug on the bridge. Then I start to thread the next string. Do the same thing. It doesn't matter which direction you thread it. However, I would suggest that you thread it the same way so that it looks nice and uniform. And remember, 3 times. I am now gonna thread the bass strings, which are a little bit different. Once again, always make sure you're threading the correct string. So here you put it through the hole like you did with the other strings. These I actually only thread once, but sometimes twice. Really, 1 is enough if you do it right. You put it under. give it a pull. And that's all you need. Sometimes you have to thread the string from the other side because it just won't go in because you've tried it the other way, and it really works a lot easier this way. So hold it with one hand and give it a pull. That's all you have to do on that side. So I like to take my E string and thread it through the furthermost tuning peg. And then you just hold it and you start to wind it. If you really want it to be neat, you can adjust it as you're winding it. With the treble strings, I like to thread the string twice through the tuning peg. I put it in once, I come around, and then I go in a second time. Just a tiny little bit, and then I just pull the string, and the string should be on, and it's not gonna go anywhere, and that just makes it easier to tighten it as you're winding it. I typically actually do this while standing up. I find it much easier. You always want to try to leave as much of the string on the peg side, because if it breaks, and you can save the string. And there you have it. Your strings are now tied on. All that's left is to tune it. Hope you like my video. Please subscribe and share.